Directly in front, steered that one straight through. The chance for Brad Lahore, though, putting an extra yard in there as Bevan Warner goes with it. Neil Taylor dummies the hand pass, now goes over towards Leishman. Nicky Winmar over top of him. Chance for Dwayne Lamb out wide. Neil Taylor running on beautifully in this game, in this quarter. Shrugs that high tackle in towards half forward. There's a player loose, it's Featherby.
They've got radar, these Subiaco players, and you've got to congratulate Coach Hayden Bunton.
Featherby going right across field to big Laurie Keane, and he will settle down from 50 metres out. Long raking drop punt, pretty well on line. Will they touch it? Stephen Michael went up high but hasn't touched it. Great goal to Laurie Keane.
So what went wrong with this talented South Fremantle side? Was there dissension in the camp? Was there a bad attitude amongst the players? I certainly noticed one of all care but no responsibility. Or was it Mal Brown's resignation as coach in the second round? Or had the players become tired of his coaching methods? And the last thing was his early announcement to step down at the end of the season as coach. Did it have such a bad effect on the players? Well, really, you could go on and on. I believe that it was a combination of all these factors. And really, in conclusion, the only real thing that South Fremantle proved in 1984 was all the talent in the world is useless without perseverance and persistence.
To the luckless Bulldogs, Claremont started the season off badly and went on to recover and finish third on the premiership ladder. One man who knows the Claremont side intimately, World of Sport commentator John Rogers.
Well, a more disastrous start to the 1984 season for Claremont you couldn't have imagined. Last year's grand finalists, and in the first series, after 7 games, they had won just 2 games of football, and those against Subiaco and Perth. And in fact, towards the end of the first series, they looked as if they could well end up on the bottom of the ladder. And there were many reasons why Claremont weren't performing well early. Of course, they'd lost Warren Ralph, their full forward, who for the last 3 seasons had kicked in excess of 100 goals. They'd also lost Wayne Blackwell, and to a lesser degree, the loss of Brett Farmer was felt. But probably the most important thing as far as Claremont was concerned, that they had lost the services of Graham Moss as their on-the-field leader. He was, of course, their coach and not their playing coach as he had been before. And it obviously took the players some time to adapt to the fact that Moss was not going to be there out on the field to lead them, and they had to do it themselves. Well, their fortunes improved dramatically in the second round. They won 5 of the 7 of the second series games, and Claremont, even though they had done that, still by no means were sure of getting themselves into the final 4. And in that second series, who could forget that sterling game against Swan Districts at Bassendean that Claremont won by just a solitary point.
Malax is waiting back. Tries to hand pass it, and they're going to award a kick. So this could be Swan's last attempt. 12-11 to 12-13. 31 minutes in as the big kick goes down towards half forward. Marshall flies, and he's been paid the mark. Swan's mounting an attack. Marshall's left foot kick into the forward line. Blackaby almost. Back goes Lil. Lil, a long hand pass out. Kick it, taken off the ball. Narkle, he'll make a hero of himself if he can do anything with it. The kick up to the forward line hasn't been marked. An opportunity for Holmes.
Over.
Oh, he's missed. And it's 84 to 85.
Thought it went through. Did not, though. The umpire said at 1 point the difference in favour of Claremont. What a game.
Cannot believe this result. At the moment, it's Claremont 12-13, 85. The Swan Districts 12-12, 84. And the mark being taken by O'Connell on the 25-metre line. O'Connell, a high kick. Players set. And Aitken thought he might have been paid that mark.
His safety ran over the line, though, and made sure of it.
And it's going to be thrown in just outside Swan District's 50-metre line. 33 minutes of time on being played.
Yes, there must be only seconds to go as the ball is thrown in now. Bogdanovich and O'Connell. It goes out the back of the pack now. Marshall dives in after the ball. So too does Kickett. Desperate players. Langsford appealing for the free kick. The umpire decides to bounce.
1 point the difference. 32 minutes of time on being played.
And
there's the siren. Oh, what a finish. What an absolute gem of a finish.
So at the end of 14 qualifying games, Claremont had won 7, and as I said before, by no means were short of getting a place in the final 4. And their fortunes continue to improve in the third series, when again they won 5 of their 7 games. But even having done that, as late as the 18th round it took them before they got into the 4, when they had a stirring victory over Subiaco at Claremont Oval by the barest of margins.
There's Mitchell, good, solid control of the ball as he keeps it in front of him. Now he'll pick it up. Oh, unloads it beautifully to Davidson. That was great work, Claremont. Davidson's kick up forward. Dean again into the air. Good mark, Warren Dean.
Great form. Had a late start to the year.
He's leading a pretty tight-knit Subiaco backline at the moment, Dean. Ball off hands to Daniels. He evades a couple of tacklers. His kick is a grubber. And manages to go through the legs of a few players. And thereafter it was Reeves. Now Mitchell. Mitchell's going to unload from about 30 metres out. Is this going to put Claremont in front? Yes, it is. The Tigers' 13th goal.
And that's Michael Mitchell's third. So the Tigers hit the front by 1 point.
These are the sort of tight situations that find outsides that have got unfit players. Ball goes to Davidson. He's worked hard for his side today too. Out towards Daniels and Neil Taylor, who's being held on to. Leishman has the ball. Now Claremont with a chance. Panizza, he streams away. He's 55 metres out. Chance for Farmer on his own in the goal square. Must get a free kick.
He got a mark, I'd say.
Here's the throw in. It's going to be Brown. Will have to do the ruck work. Down to Daniels. Back up near the goal square. Larry Kickett works it away to Davidson. Claremont got a chance to break out of trouble now through Davidson. He does it well. And over there for Panizza. Panizza very, very fast. His kick is going to be marked, or is it by Reeves? No, he can't do so. Hand pass on now to Morton. The Claremont skipper has a chance to bring Claremont closer, and he does. Great goal, Morton. 35 metres out. A chance to give Claremont a pretty handy break. Ball's on its way, straight as an eye. That's Claremont's 15th, and they're making life very difficult for Subiaco now.
And that was the game that saw Claremont into the Final 4 for the first time in the 1984 season, and they were there to stay, but by gee, they left their run late. And it was, as I said, a disastrous start to the season, and it showed just how tight the competition was, that it took them as long as it did to get into that Final 4 and play off for the 1984 series.
Well, as Claremont swept into the Final 4, the Wooden Spooners Perth simply couldn't get out of the doldrums. They tried everything, including bringing back 2 stars from Victoria, Robert Wiley and Peter Bozzasto. Well, both had inauspicious starts to the season. Bozzasto was involved in a wrangle between his Victorian club Carlton and the on-again, off-again situation of whether he should return to Melbourne. After one particularly bad game with Perth, he vented his frustration on a plate glass window at Lathlane Park and ended up in hospital. That was the end of the season for the tough utility player. Robert Wiley did, however, regain his form and put in some fine performances, including this round 12 performance against South Fremantle.
Two-out duel again. Bozzasto's in there. Gavin Carter with his eye on the ball towards the boundary. Wiley, has he kept it in? He has. He turns and snaps. Oh, what a goal! Goal of the day! Brett Bones versus Dave Rawlinson. Rawlinson the tap, but Wiley read it well. Up towards full forward. Cornell overrun it, allows Bozzasto in from 40 metres. The left foot chip chop from Bozzasto, right on line.
Today they both performed well. Robert Wiley also was a star in our 2 State of Origin games. We'll have a look at them in just a moment. Clashes provided some of the greatest thrills for the season. Critics could not think of enough superlatives to describe the performance of our WA teams. We survived a bruising final quarter to win the first game against South Australia at Football Park in Adelaide by just 1 point. Let's relive some of the highlights of that great match.
Mosconi puts the handball through. Western Australia into attack again. Well, that was a free ball in there at centre-half forward, and the mark taken by Alan Daniels. Kick on the way. That's looked a bit better off the boot. Through it goes, and in fact Daniels now gets his first goal. WA back in it. 13-13, trail South Australia 14-12. Mick Redden to do battle with Rhett Baines. Line ball in the centre. Running away is Holmes. WA in again. Bozzasto is way out in front of Warhurst. Didn't get the good bounce. Through goes Harding. He's a live wire. Gives it back to Wiley. WA a chance now. Hardy underneath the ball. Scouting for it is Malaxis. Through goes Robin White. Holding the ball. No, Bruce Lindsay. That would have to be the quickest holding the ball decision I have ever seen in my life. Have a look at it again. If that's holding the ball, I'm not here. Cheerio, umpire Mike Ball. Hardy's the player with the ball. Lines them up. WA now in front. Mick Redden tries to pick out Lee Robson again. He stops in the run in. Roberts takes it offhand. Here's a chance for the South Australian champion to kick a goal. He's missed. Dear, oh dear, he wouldn't miss those normally. The score's a level.
The ball out of play, half forward left flank. 97 points both teams.
Must be very close to the siren. Scores a level at Football Park. Mick Redden, Rhett Baines trying to get it clear is Nailey for South Australia. He's conceding ground though. In goes Bazasto, great handball. A score could be coming up. The siren's gone.
The draw.
The end of the game here at Football Park. It's a draw.
No, he's counting the point, Peter. What a controversial finish. The siren actually went before the player kicked the ball. The umpire did not hear the siren, and he has paid that point to WA. Look at the unbelievable excitement on the WA side. Umpire Laurie Argent let the point stand. And Western Australia have come from behind to grab an unbelievable victory. 14-14 to South Australia's 14 goals 13.
And from that battling victory, the West Australians went on to meet the might of Victoria. We went into the match at Subiaco Oval determined to retain our Australian title.
In attendance here this afternoon, the ball goes towards Gary Pert. Rioli's in there too, left centre wing. Out comes Rioli, boots it back towards a half-forward line. X underneath, it's a good mark to Blackwell. Blackwell 50 metres out, has a punch up towards goals. It's going forward of a mark by Gary Sidebottom right in the square. Plays on. First blood to Western Australia.
Harding dropped what he should have taken, caught by Danaher. Got the hand pass away to Brian Peake, though, who drives the ball long into the forward line. In front, Glendenning has claimed the mark, and I reckon he had about third hands on that.
Well, that was impossible almost, because Glendenning had about 5 Victorians around him and still managed to take control of that ball.
So Glendenning from 50 metres out. Western Australia leads by a point. It's a good-looking kick. It's through the centre, and WA have got their second.
The umpires are in firm control of the game.
Jim Buckley, backward of right centre wing for Victoria, puts the ball marginally into attack, knocked away from Madden. Swooping on it is Rioli, a long kick. Glendenning's on the break, and Glendenning has got the ball. Long kick from Glendenning. Robert Wiley's loose if he can get there. Got to wait to see if it bounces kindly. It does. Wiley's snapshot is high. It's long. Has it been touched? Yes. No, it wasn't. Magnificent effort from Wiley. I didn't think the kick was going to make it, but it has.
Daniels in the van. Plenty of time to get around. Boots it back towards the forward area. Is it a mark? It is.
Yeah, Glendenning.
The Brownlow medalist from 1983. For sure, Russ Glendenning. 45 metres out. Has a shot. It's coming back. There's a great goal. Pete come right down to take that one. He's at half forward at the moment. He's about 60 metres out from goal. Puts it back in towards that full forward spot. Bazasto from the back. Can't get it. Comes to the pocket. Malaxis gets his foot to the goal. This goal. That is a great goal from the boot of Stephen Malaxis.
He could
have the side, and that's their team. It's on the half forward flank. Wiley appealing for the kick. The umpire's still letting it go. Bazasto a chance from 45 metres out. Here's a snapshot towards goal. This will be close. That's a goal and 11 for Western Australia. Wayne Blackwell's going to take it. He's about 70 metres out on the far side of the ground. He'll boot it long towards the forward area. That's the way he goes. Taylor's in there. It's full forward. Taylor's high in there this time, but he can't grab it. Out comes the flank to Cronin in the pocket. Glendenning taps it on.
Here's a goal.
Chance now for Malaxis. He has another snap. And the result, another miraculous goal to Stephen Malaxis, and that's the 13th to Western Australia.
They've got all the height down there, the Vicks at the moment, but too many went for the ball. Daniels goes back, shoots and scores. Wiley with it close to the boundary line. He's kept it in. Great play by Wiley to Sidebottom, who stuck through for a reply from WA. Glendenning's the target.
They all flew. Glendenning emerges, gets the hand pass to Wiley. Wiley inside 25 metres and WA are back in front for the forward line. Side bottom in front and the mark. The hand pass out to Daniels. This got slow enough and Daniels has put it through.
Stood out during the season for their courage, their attitude and their professionalism were East Perth and East Fremantle. As you saw earlier, the Royals made a good start to the season and despite setbacks, their young and their enthusiastic team hovered on the edge of the four, and it wasn't until that very last game of the qualifying rounds that they managed to scrape in on percentage. To do that, Subiaco had to beat South Fremantle, which as we've seen they did, and the Royals had to beat East Fremantle, and beat them they did in a tough encounter at Perth Oval.
111 points to East Fremantle, 14-14, 98.
Into the air go the ruckman. Cocker on the ball now against Alexander. The crumbs go to Spencer. He kicks it up towards Campbell. Ball thumped away by Browning. Kavanagh and Renstead. A one-out duel here. They bump each other. Kavanagh in front of Renstead. Now it's Kavanagh who falls over, gives Renstead the chance. He's a champion player, this fella Renstead. Kicks it up around the outer side of the ground to Holt. Holt. Very low pass. Dennis is in the way. Gee, has he played well since he came on, Dennis. His short kick is going to find a teammate over there, and it looks like young Blakely. Ball in East Perth's attacking zone. Alexander and Ashenko, and over the back Foreman. Foreman did the tapping down to Browning. Browning tries to get away from Spencer. He can't, though. The hand pass intercepted by Otway. Otway's kick looking for Scott. It's going to drop into the arms of Sheldon, though, running the same way as the ball. Took a very clever mark.
Gutsy one too, Harvey. Anyone could put his lights out on that occasion. He went straight for the ball.
This could be the most important kick of Gary Sheldon's life, because this goal may well give East Perth the breathing space they need to go into the final four. Sheldon from 30 metres comes in. Ball's on its way. Ooh, it's close. Yes, it's through. And that's Sheldon's second goal, and never has he kicked a more important one. 19 points the difference. Still anybody's game, but a very handy goal, that from East Perth. Umpire Johnson with the ball. And there's the bounce. Up go Alexander and Cocker. It's Cocker with a big fist into the ball. Sharked though by Kerr. Rose there for East Perth. So's Nolan. Now Sparks. Gee, he's tried hard for East Perth today. Gets it out to Spencer. Spencer, another long kick up towards the forward line. Looking there for Ashenko. The back of the packet was Scott. He worked it to Blakely. Blakely snapped from 15, 25 metres and has snapped another one for East Perth. And I think they're in the finals. Apart from taking up valuable time, he is also going to post some sort of a score on the board, I should think, Marty, and this is...
and cement East Perth's position in the four.
That's it. So, Tony Popotto has kicked 2 goals already today. Low trajectory. Straight enough, though. That's right through the middle. East Perth's 20th goal on the board, and they'll be at Subiaco Oval next Saturday.
East Perth were understandably elated to make the four, but their joy was short-lived when Claremont ended their rags to riches run in the first semi-final.
Towards the Subiaco end against this breeze. He's given it a chance, put it right up to the square. The big fellow's up there. Front position there to Mike Aitken, and he's taken the mark right in the square.
A chance to score. Farmer does a ruck work, but Ashenko goes straight over the top. No big pardons out there as the hand pass comes out to Kelly. That was from Wayne Otway. Kelly, a long kick into the centre. Sparks couldn't complete that mark. This is Panizza. He's got Morton loose. That's him. Morton fires the ball into Malaxis, and that's a lovely pass.
Out it goes toward the flank. Panizza again. Puts it back towards the square. Mitchell's there. Can't get it. Into the pocket it goes. Daniels. With him is Wilson. Into the pocket. Wilson. Back comes Daniels. Dean Farmer. Look at the tackling going on. Into the pocket. Morgan. Out to Kelly. Geez, a great passage of play there as Wilson's got it for East Perth. Puts it towards the centre. Campbell. Sparks. Goes in where Angels fear to tread. Over to Spencer from Campbell. Spencer left puts it towards Scott. Towards full forward. There's a chance for Cocker. 20 metres out. What's he done? Full points. And East Perth are coming back.
Yep. Smith. Past left wing. O'Connell. Oh, what a grab from Solon.
Dennis puts it in towards half forward. Blakely couldn't get it. Malaxis can. Back to the centre. Over it comes. There he is, all on his own again. Peter Davidson. And there's the kick towards full forward. A brilliant kick and a brilliant mark to Stephen Golding. All eyes on him. He's a brilliant utility player. Kicks it towards full forward and puts it through for full points.
We're, what, 27.5 minutes into this final quarter, and Claremont exceptionally good kicking in a final. 22-9, 141, leading East Perth 18-12, 120. As Mitchell comes in with a left foot, it's coming back, but not enough, or has it? It's going to be given the all clear. Goal to Mitchell, and I guess if you needed a sealer, that's it.
So East Perth bowed out, but well done East Perth and well done Greg Brio. It's not a same rags to riches story for East Fremantle. They played consistent football right throughout the season, and they beat every team in the competition during the year. It was the diligence and the persistence of coach Ron Alexander that gave the Sharks their impetus. Alexander proved that being the only playing coach in WA was not a handicap, and used his own on-field performance as an example to his team. Perhaps his finest hour, the second semi-final against Swan Districts, when he withstood everything that Swans could throw against him. And not even big Ron Boucher could stop his control at almost every centre bounce and boundary throw-in, as the Sharks took their match-winning lead in the second quarter.
The only one really that got hands to that as Wilson hooks back to full forward and misses. And Swans have got the ball in their attacking zone. Satori with the tap. This is Kerr, taps it out to Green. Green, a high kick. Rankin waits for it to come down, is claiming the mark. Don't really think he held it, but he would have got a kick anyways. Now Kerr has it on the right wing and bursts into East Fremantle's forward line.
Roger Kerr, a long kick towards full forward. Renstead comes out with the ball, dribbles it towards full forward. It's rolling, and it's full points to the blue and whites.
It's 22-17, 5 minutes in. The chance for Kevin Taylor. I think we'll get up last from that. As Boucher and Alexander have a snip.
6-minute mark of the second. Boucher and Alexander there again. Shine comes over, can't take it with him. Mishandled a lot. Back to Green. To Kerr. Oh, a scramble in the centre there, but play goes on to right full forward.
He missed.
The right, left and centre. There's hooks going there, but East Fremantle got the ball.
And while that's happening, Darren Bennett has taken a mark well inside the 50-metre square with a chance to kick East Fremantle's third goal in this second quarter, and we've only played 6.5 minutes.
Well, it's certainly on out there as the kick from young Darren Bennett towards the city end of the ground looks pretty good, and another goal to the blue and white Sharks.
Well, there's no doubt that Ron Alexander will be coaching the Sharks again next year, but the future of some of the other coaches is still in doubt. Dennis Cometti announced this week that he would not be coaching West Perth next year. Cometti says he has to look after his career as a football and cricket commentator first. South's Malcolm Brown is deciding his future. It's understood that he may want to return to Victoria and to continue coaching Richmond, possibly, but he's keeping tight-lipped about his plans. One of the coaching casualties of the season was Perth's Ian Miller. He's been told he won't be coaching the Demons in 1985. The question now, of course, is who will be? John Todd is another coach who may make a change next season. He's been tipped to either move to Victoria or to take on South Fremantle or again possibly Perth. Graham Moss, Greg Brio and Hayden Bunton will stay with their respective clubs. Season certainly provided some thrills and spills. One of the most exciting moments was the only draw of the season when West Perth played South Fremantle at Leederville. Each team finished with 105 points, but it was the magic of West Perth's two new stars, Davis and Kickett, that captured the imagination of the WA football public.
Kicks it out towards the flank away from the goals. Matera and Fong, the two rovers. Fong tries to shove it. Comerford comes right down with this one. Fong's got it. Gives it to Malaglio. 55 metres out, he can score with a good kick. Into the pocket, McCulloch. No, it's not. It's young Ron Davis. It was McCulloch, but somehow Ron Davis has taken it. He's, has he kicked a goal?
Yes, he kicked their ninth goal, and there's only two so far in the
Plenty of
difference.
pressure on it, and Ron Davis has kicked another one. Can the Falcons come back?
One goal the difference.
99 to 105 at the 30-minute mark in the final quarter.
Superb mark by Davis, and he's kicked truly
1 goal the difference. We're nearly at the 30-minute mark.
Boy, I don't know how much time to go. There wouldn't be too much. I'd say 2 minutes at the outside because South have scored a lot of goals. Now, can West Perth take it down and make it a dead heat?
Well, it's a great fight back by the West Perth side.
Oh, what a time to make a mistake. Brian Perrin kicks it to half forward. Oh, what a finish here at Leederville Oval. The crowd is standing up in front of me. I'll have to stand up too because from 55 metres out, Peter Monaglio is kicking it. It goes to the square. Edwards has made a great attempt, but he can't get it, and the umpire will bounce it down. Well, seconds to go.
West Perth have a chance to dead heat.
Well, I think that'll be a good thing for the game because they've played well. Michael's high in the air. Who's going to get it? Oh, of all persons, David Hart. There it is. Warwick can't grab it. He'll get up again. Hendricks is there too. He's pushed in the back. Yes. No, he's not. Yes, he is.
Well, this game's not over.
Well. Jeff Hendricks. He's out on the centre wing. Can the Falcons score? A major. George McKeljic can't get it. Look at the red and white jumpers. Basoli. They've packed the back line. Gastovich trying to get it through. A lucky bounce either way. Doug Sims. Noel Carter. Has he kicked it out on the full? He has. Oh boy. From 55 metres out, this kick is coming. And who's got it? Doug Sims.
The siren will sound any moment.
He's kicked a few from there. He's got to go long. And that's the way he goes. Into the square. Comerford's up there. I don't know what he's doing down there, trying to score goals, I would say.
Well, there must be only seconds left, and West Perth desperately need a goal.
Can the Falcons score? George McKeljic, it's high in the air. It's in the pocket. Oh, and who's got it?
Davis.
Davis has got it, and what pressure for the young player playing his first league game. Boy, this couldn't have been timed better.
Couldn't see daylight.
What's he done? He's kicked a goal! Pandemonium reigns here at Leederville Oval. On the level, at the 31-minute mark. And look at Ron Davis, and look at the crowd.
What a sensational performance by the West Perth side, and in particular young Davis. That's his 3rd goal for the game. He kicked their 9th, their 14th and their 15th. Magnificent performance, and it's a dead heat.
Oh, seconds to go, what a finish, and this is what Australian football is all about. It's back in the centre. Edwards is on the ball, so is Mogilevich. Doug Sims has a mighty kick, and then that's a siren. What a game of football at Leederville Oval.
And it was performances like those that also contributed to some of our highest and best marks and the most spectacular goals we saw during season 84. One that wasn't. Those exciting performances from players of all clubs also made for one of the most controversial Sandover medal counts. For the first time, the count-back system was abandoned and we had not one, but 3 Sandover medalists.
And the official results is a 3-way tie between Stephen Malaxis of Claremont Michael Mitchell of the Claremont Football Club and Peter Spencer of the Eastbourne Football Club.
Seeing that Peter already has a Sandover medal in his possession and will receive another one in due course, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to present to you, Michael, on behalf of the Sandover family, the 1984 Sandover medal. And to you, Steve, the 1987-84 Sandover medal. And congratulations once again to all of you.
Well, one thing is for sure, the controversy over this year's medal presentation will continue until the same time next year. In just a moment, my highlight of the 1984 season. Out of the season has been the performance of John Todd and Swan Districts. Todd has taken a team with average ability and he's turned them into grand finalists for the 3rd year in a row. When you compare his players with South Fremantle, East Fremantle and Claremont, Swans come out the worst with individual talent, but they do have the greatest coach. And only a week ago, that Todd magic provided the perfect example in the preliminary final against Claremont, instilled into Todd's players that fierce desire to compete. Barry Kimberley lifted to be the best man afield, Ken Marshall, Michael Johns. These players were just ordinary footballers before they joined Swan Districts, but they proved not only to Claremont last weekend, but to the football public that there's no substitute for Todd's ideals, and that's be competitive for 4 quarters regardless of the opposition. Or to use that familiar phrase, Swans players certainly have football character.
They're a goal in front at the moment, and we're 11 minutes into the final quarter. Skorowski off the 50-metre line, up to the wing. Holmes in front. The mark not paid. High on the call. Morton being held. He staged for the kick. Holmes decided he'd go. He's running away from Park. Gets the hand pass across to Fogarty. Fogarty from 50 metres out directly in front. Long kick. Boucher jostling that time. The goal's been scored with Beecroft, and the goal has been scored. What's the umpire doing? He's going to give him another kick. Oh, going to give Boucher another kick. Well, obviously something was going on then. Richardson well played to Narkle. That's a great bit of play. As back goes O'Connell, can't take it. It's clean bowling everybody. Finally, O'Connell gets boot the ball. Aitken from behind takes the mark. No, not paid.
Must have been touched.
Must have been, because he was the only one that got a hand to it. As Ahmad puts it high. Boucher and Beecroft. To the ground it goes. This is kick it for Claremont. Comes out to the 50-metre line.
Yeah, unnecessary.
He just relayed free kick to Shorty Daniels.
Ron shouldn't have even persevered with that because it was a friendly bump. Completely unnecessary.
He's enjoying every minute of this. Beecroft's getting as dirty as hell, and Big Ron's laughing his head off. As the ball goes into the forward line, Beecroft underneath it. Tapped out towards Daniels. He runs back. In fact, loses meterage as he gives it across to Park, and Park tries to get something going for Claremont as he's given it out to Lil, who's back on the ground. Shock and all effort from Lil. And Neesham can't believe his luck.
Yes, there's another mistake, goes to Holmes. Holmes got the lead further, Fowler Marshall, and there it is. One mistake and it's gone. He's going to get a 15-metre penalty. This was going to take his kick. He's kicked 2. This could be a very valuable goal and put Swans well in front. He's kicked it.
23 points in front, Swans. As Kimberley caught, holding the ball, the decision, and the kick to go the way of Alan Daniels.
Big dynamite, he's holding the ball.
Daniels unloads a big one into the Claremont forward line. Back they go. Oh, what a good mark to Aitken.
That's his 3rd very timely mark.
Gets the hand pass to Mitchell. Mitchell screws with the right foot. Claremont are back in the game. 26 minutes gone. Claremont get anything going as Smith to Malaxis. Malaxis long. Beers in front of Marr this time. Gets around Narkle. Time to steady. Long kick into the forward line. Golding in front. Knocked away. Rakic swoops. Left foot kick from Rakic is across the face. And just when Claremont need goals, they're not forthcoming. But Swan District's defence has reigned supreme as Aitken tries to get something going. But again, Swans standing rock-like in defence. Skorowski hooks the ball, trying to find touch. This is Andy Marr. He's caught. Gets the hand pass away. Beers to Malaxis. Malaxis will have to hurry. He does. The kick won't come around enough. And Claremont go to 93.
Can Claremont get back?
Maluli, again, immaculate use of the ball towards Holmes. Knocked away from him. Rackets the opportunity, but there's another man who's played superbly. Fogarty to Richardson. Richardson to Narkle. Swans are off again. Narkle through the centre. In towards half-foot. Out comes Marshall and takes a beauty.
He's the player since he came on the ground in the second quarter that got Swans firing.
55 metres out, he's kicked three and missed another three. Look at this one, it's going goalwards into the square, and there it is, a great mark to Peter Satori right in the goal square.
Well, Swan Districts are going to have a chance to win their third consecutive grand final. And Satori, the player that was so well held last week, returned to his normal game, and that's a top one.
15 metres out, Satori splits the centre. If you wanted a sealer, that's it for the black and whites.
A team without champions, perhaps with the exception of Peter Satori, but they proved again that a champion team will always win. And Swans will be hoping they can repeat that match-winning performance when they come up against East Fremantle tomorrow in the grand final. To celebrate the big day, Channel 7 will be having a football spectacular. Starting at midnight, we'll be replaying some of the greatest matches of the past few years. And we'll also be bringing you the reserves grand final between South Fremantle and Subiaco live around about 11:20. The grand final itself will be replayed in full at 10:30 tomorrow night. And I'll be back with the World of Sport special grand final morning breakfast live from the Merlin Hotel at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And we'll have presentations of the Channel 7 Footballer of the Year Award, interviews with football personalities, and lots more. We'll look forward to seeing you then. Until then, good night.
That was The Year That Was, presented by Ian Diffin Tyre and Muffler Centres, NEC, Emu Export Lager, and SGIO.